craziness is just beginning, and it's extremely ironic because Trump's phrase, his catchphrase, his slogan, other, of course, than "Make America Great Again," is "You're fired." And there have been more people that have been fired in the past 24 or 48 hours than in any other 24-hour or 48-hour period. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video, everybody. Before we get into it, I want to encourage you all to smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't yet already. It does really help grow the channel. We're taking a look at just totally unhinged left-wing lunatics that are taken to social media, and they think that there's no repercussions, but there is a tremendous amount of repercussions. One of the biggest is you're going to lose your job if you support the attempted assassination or you make comments in light of, hey, it's a shame that that person missed. Like, yeah, no, you can't say that. That's the president, man. That's absolutely wrong to say that. And I know a lot of people, including myself, were fans of Jack Black, but it seems like he might have just ended his career because Jack Black, is going to be grouped in with these people. We're not talking about Canadian politics in this video, which is what this channel normally focuses on. This is too big to avoid. And I just want to say that I made a dedicated video on my extra channel. This feels like there's a massive change in the wind. It feels like, you remember when the coup was happening, right? And you became ostracized if you didn't support what was going on. If you're like, nah, no, I'm going to stay away. I'm going to sit this one out. I think that there's something suspicious. And everyone who wore a mask was like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And you just kind of shelled up. A lot of people didn't. A lot of people didn't shell up, but a lot of people also did shell up and were like, okay, I'm just going to hide way back here and let my family and friends and random people do this to me. Well, that's kind of what's happened with being a Trump supporter. If you've supported Trump ever, if you're in the wrong crowd or the wrong part of the algorithm, you will get absolutely obliterated. And that doesn't bother some people. Some people just, they completely unfazed. But to other people, like, I mean, myself, I just kind of like kept a little bit low. But ever since this attempted assassination, I'm proud that I support Trump. Fuck it, I'll just come on and say it. I endorse Trump. Why not? I endorse Trump. It would be awesome to see a Trump and Poilievre. It'd be a little more awesome. It'd be awesomer if you saw Poilievre go a little bit more to the right. You know, just come on, get over there, boy. Get over there. See Trump? He's way over there. Get on over there just a little bit. But we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. So we're veering away from Canadian politics, and we're taking a look at just how crazy all of this is. So buckle up, and I hope you stick around for the full thing because this is going to be super informative. All right, we're going to start off with some amazing news. Judge Cannon has dismissed the Trump classified documents case. All it took was him to get shot in the head. Congratulations, President Trump. That is phenomenal. Now we're going to lighten things up just a little bit here. You got feminists in movies, gladiators, and feminism in reality. And this, of course, is because of DEI, which that's what it's called in America. I assume that's what it's called in Canada as well. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is inherently racist and sexist, but they guise it as a way to combat racism and sexism by hiring people based off of their genitals or the color of their skin instead of their merit. And for those who don't know, somehow, maybe you're living under a rock, the Secret Service, the head of the Secret Service is a woman, which... yeah, I believe that was her in that bottom of the meme, or that is one of the hires of DEI. So kudos to that individual there. Elon Musk is sick and tired of legacy media. And I just want to say massive shout out to Elon for not only publicly endorsing Trump, not only giving Trump a platform, not only being a total badass all around, but buying Twitter, turning it into X, making it free speech, and implementing community notes, because he's absolutely right. He tried using both X and legacy media this weekend, but legacy media was so far behind and wrong that it was pointless. When something is wrong on X, it's corrected very fast, but it stays wrong for hours to days on legacy media. And that just couldn't be more true. The moment a post starts to get any virality, it's looked at by community notes, which is a pretty good system so far. And speaking of so far, a lot of people are asking, how did we get here? How did somebody get the courage to do what they did or attempt to do to Donald Trump? Well, I think that we're about to find out. So when you take a look at the past. How did this happen? You have Joe Biden saying MAGA Republicans are a threat, greatest threat, genuine threat, threat. Trump poses many threats, threat to our democracy, greatest threat. We lose everything. And that's only the tip of the iceberg. There is so much footage that is coming out of the woodworks right now that would explain exactly how we got here, such as throw back to when a New Zealand talk show encouraged their viewers to get a Donald J. Trump doll and use it for target practice.
This is great. Okay, Donald Trump's here, so let's say Donald Trump.
It doesn't hurt.
Down there. Does it have like a laser?
I'm not sure it's actually that far.
I feel like there needs to be a laser on this thing. Or do you,
Well,
okay.
this is.
Oh!
Hey!
How did we get here? How did we get here? That's pretty messed up when you look at it. And it's not like these things weren't pointed out when they were happening. They were, but it just got suppressed because the legacy media was like, yeah, no, it's okay. It's fine. That'll never happen. Wink, wink. It turns out that when you program that enough on mainstream media and you brainwash people, yeah, some people are potentially going to try to do that. And I mean, that's not the only one. You also have a Broadway show that shows Donald Trump
dressed to look
getting stabbed.
Donald Trump as he's assassinated on stage. Look as his character is stabbed to death. And there's
in a Broadway play. So there is tons and tons of footage of things like this. And I mean, even more recently, you don't have to go that far back, just more recently, the Supreme Court gives Joe Biden the legal okay to assassinate Trump. Yep, Huffington Post less than 2 weeks ago. Never forget. It's pretty wild when you really compile everything together. And that is what I have the absolute pleasure of doing for you in this video here. Jake Tapper on CNN compared Trump to Hitler over and over again on national television. This sowed the seeds for the minds of radicals that assassination is justified. CNN is complicit.
The dehumanizing rhetoric of Adolf Hitler is once again alive and well on a national political stage. This time, of course, in the United States. Donald Trump, a couple times over the weekend, referred to immigrants from South America, Africa, and Asia. He did not mention Europe. South America, Africa, and Asia as, quote, poisoning the blood of our country, which it's not hyperbole. That does very directly echo Adolf Hitler's language before World War II. To open up a copy of Hitler's Mein Kampf, you would find the Nazi leader describing the mixing of non-Germans with Germans as poisoning. There's really no other way to say it. Donald Trump's language mirrors this directly.
Absolutely insane. And if you're wondering, where's the accountability for these people? Well, that's what we're going to be taking a look at a little bit later today in this video. Is there are so many people, high profile, everyday citizens that are now being held accountable for this type of rhetoric. But what I find very alarming is, you remember January 6th? Who am I kidding? Of course you do. You remember how the government just really brutalized people? Chances are I'm preaching to the choir here. Well, it turns out that this 20-year-old phone is impenetrable.
Official is telling Fox they believe the shooter acted alone. We're also learning that they can't get into his cell phone. They have it at Quantico, but haven't been able to get any data out of it. Back with me now is...
That is pretty wild that this person who worked alone, this 20-year-old shooter, somehow has an impenetrable phone and somehow got through the Secret Service onto the most obvious rooftop, which in yesterday's video, I talked about a famous Canadian sniper, Dallas Alexander, who has a now extremely viral video that has taken off, where he said that it's impossible for somebody who has worked alone to pull that off. Like, they obviously had help from the inside in some form of way. And we're going to be taking a look at some of that footage today. So just brace yourself. But something I didn't show yesterday was this video right here of the shooter, Thomas Matthew Crooks, and his classmate. So Thomas Matthew Crooks was reportedly rejected from his school's rifle team because of his bad shot and his off-color jokes, according to the New York Post. A former classmates claim he tried out for the rifle team at Bethel Park High School. Let's take a look at this video here.
I mean, he would sit alone at lunch. I mean, he was just an outcast, and you know how kids are nowadays. So they're gonna see someone like that and they're gonna target him because they think it's funny or whatever. So it's the best way I can describe it. And it's honestly kind of sad. Like, I don't want to say this is what provoked it, but you never know.
Yeah. You said he was a loner?
Yeah. I want to say he was a loner more because he was quiet, but like he was just bullied. Like he was bullied so much.
This was high school.
Yeah.
What did they, do you remember at all what they said to him or called him?
No. He was just made fun of, I guess, for the way he dressed or his appearance.
And you take someone who's been through those experiences and then you add so much propaganda to mainstream media and the world and saying that this singular individual who's running for president is the make or break. He's the next Hitler. Yeah, I know. It's actually surprising that this has been the only attempt that's been made public. I feel like you're seeing a lot of people come out of the woodworks that would fall into that category of what the shooter was, just a complete lunatic, right? And we're going to be taking a look at some people who would very much fit that category later on in this video. But the momentum is picking up and it's changing everything. It's reawakened the MAGA beast and made it into more powerful than ever before. These are Trump supporters in California waving flags.
Absolutely epic.
And I think that it's awesome. It's creating a massive change in everything across North America and potentially even the world. And let me know down below in the comments if you, who's watching this right now, supports Donald Trump or not. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. We have this kind of an older video here of President Trump talking about how his family is all in. He has a great family and they have suffered from vicious politics.
Is your family all in this time?
Oh, they're all in. That doesn't mean they're going to be working on the campaign. Ivanka did such a great job. Jared did a great job. They all did. Tiffany did a great job. I have a wonderful family. But, you know, they suffered, my family. They went after. These are wonderful, wonderful. They're not children, but to me they're children. You know, no matter what age. They're always going to be children, right? Yeah. You know, you'll be, that's politically incorrect to say it's not. They're my children. And you love your children. It's a vicious business, politics. I used to think business was worse. After about 2 months of dealing with crazy lunatic Adam Schiff and these people, they're just liars. They're horrible liars. We dealt with so many sick, deranged people that are not stupid people, but they're deranged people. And it's a lot to ask a family to really go in and do it.
Is your family all in this?
Yeah, absolutely wild. And if I'm not mistaken, his son was there when he got shot in the head. So I hope everyone is healing in an appropriate fashion. Speaking of appropriate fashion, we have this video here that has come out of the woodworks. I shared this on my Twitter. If you don't follow my Twitter, I highly recommend you go do. I'm sharing lots of things as it's happening in real time. People spotted the shooter minutes before he took the shot. Such a massive failure by Secret Service.
He was doing the job. I wouldn't even be doing this. I could get some beautiful places to Gorgeous Ocean.
Look, they're all pointing.
The Atlantic, maybe the Pacific.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look. There he is right there. Where? Right there. See him? He's laying down. See him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
And Scott, I'm here with you fighting like hell to get a Senate.
What's happening?
And to make sure we take back the White House, because if we do, we're going to make America better than ever before. We're going to make it.
Yeah, look. There he is.
Easy, because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be.
Officer. And this was relayed. This is just one of the angles, one of the instances of people spotting the shooter, and nothing was done. And it's the most obvious rooftop, says Dallas Alexander, who has a follow-up message from yesterday's video.
Oh, I want to thank the Drinking Bros, Tim Kennedy and Rob O'Neill for having me on their live stream tonight. I just want to emphasize one thing, as a million things get commented on and posted right now because the world's gone crazy. If this was successful, that is not good for anyone. And I've seen comments about people wishing that bullet would have hit and blah, 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 or wishing it was Biden. That's crazy. It doesn't matter your political stance. It doesn't matter where you stand or who you disagree with. That would never be good for your country. It would never be good for anyone in the country. It would just make the divide that much greater. I think it is a blessing, a huge blessing, that the assassination attempt was, I mean, it's obvious when I say this, but not successful. Because that divide would have been immediate, it would have been ruthless. But we just, please, if you hear this or can share it with somebody, keep that in mind when you're posting and making these comments. It's a very emotional time for a lot of people, but just like, we're all still living on this fucking crazy planet together.
And I think that a lot of people have just become so freaking desensitized to what is going on in the world that they don't care. And they're willing to say the most radical thing in hopes that people will join in. And that's kind of the difference between the right and the left, is there hasn't been one single protest. There hasn't been one single riot from what's happened to Donald Trump. Yet his supporters, right? MAGA, anyone who supports Trump is a crazy radical extremist. Yet nothing has happened other than people standing in solidarity, people that have contributed over $4 million in donations to the family and the victims that were at that rally, right? For those who don't know, one man who's behind Donald Trump did get shot and killed right there on the scene. And I think there was somebody else who was injured. I'm not sure if somebody else died. It's absolutely insane what is going on. And speaking of insane, after everything that has happened, Donald Trump still comes out ahead, not with the fist pump, everything there. He's made some remarks afterwards. We're going to be taking a look at that. But also, this just kind of happened right now where Donald Trump posted on Truth Social where he said, in light of what is going on in the world today, I believe is an imperative that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. receive Secret Service protection immediately. Given the history of the Kennedy family, this is the obvious right thing to do. And Elon Musk says, mensch move, which is wild. So even after being targeted himself, he's still looking out for others. This guy is just winning on all fronts, which is why so many people are coming out of the woodworks and supporting him, going, whoa, this is crazy. Maybe I haven't supported Trump in the past, but like, respect, right? And he's being labeled as like a true gangster, which is probably a good thing for his street cred. He's got the mugshots. He's got now been shot, right? Kind of wild what's going on. But this is what Bill Maher has to say. Biden can't get through a debate and a bullet can't stop Donald Trump. It almost doesn't matter who the Democrats put up now. And this was just recently said by Bill Maher, which is wild what's going on. And I just kind of want to replay a little bit, tie it into Canada, since this is a Canadian channel. Pierre Poilievre, the leader of the opposition, had a very bold remark to make. And he beat the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, to the statement, right? He was ahead by 30 minutes, almost to the exact second, which is incredible since he's the leader of the opposition, has tremendously less amount of resources at his disposal than what the Prime Minister of the freaking country has. But nonetheless, he's on the ball much sharper than what Trudeau ever could be. And people are saying this: the man who so desperately wants to become the next Prime Minister of Canada rejoices over the death of a human being. This is not the type of leader Canada needs. That's because Pierre Poilievre said this: I condemn in the strongest of terms the attempted murder of former President Trump today. I am relieved he is safe. My prayers are with other innocent people harmed or killed by this heinous act. I am also happy that the suspected shooter is dead. Democracy must prevail. And that original tweet or post on X by Pierre got over 4 or 5 million views. It almost doubled what Justin Trudeau got. And this is my reply here. Over the death of a terrorist, the shooter committed an act of terror. This is the correct statement to make. And let me know down in the comments what you guys think about that. Is that too harsh for Pierre to say that? Or is that kind of right on cue? At a recent 50 Cent concert, he put a custom backdrop in Boston just the night of the shooting or the night following the shooting, or the attempted assassination of President Donald Trump. That is absolutely wild. And then speaking of wild, the reason why we're sharing all of these people that are making these tweets in support of that attempted assassination, going, oh, I can't believe that this person almost got it. Better luck next time, right? So this is why we're doing this, and we're getting into this. There's going to be a series of clips we're going to be taking a look at, but someone tagged me here on X saying, "Hey, Miss Sunshine, thanks for letting us know about the University of Guelph Broad and what she tweeted. Us here in Guelph are well aware now." And that's because university is now going to be taking action against this professor. And that's one of the many, 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 many different instances that we're just about to look at right now. Such as this one right here. This person got reported a bunch where she said, yeah, karma's a bitch, waiting for Polyev to get his. We did cover that yesterday, but now let's take a look at some new ones. Kudos to this veteran for sharing. Karen, who posted on Facebook that Trump's assassination should have been a better shooter.
Are you Darcy Waldron? Yeah?
Waldron, yeah.
Okay, from Cayuga. And you think that the shooter should have been a better shot? Is that what you posted on Facebook?
I am at work.
You think that the shooter should have been a shooter, huh?
I am at work.
Yeah, I think that's pretty messed up. Pretty anti-American, if you ask me. As a veteran, I'm disgusted. What have you provided to this country? Huh? I'm sorry. This is ridiculous. You are ridiculous.
Probably.
You famous.
Probably calling the manager. Like, I don't know if I support, or I don't know how I feel about someone showing up to their work and doing that. But there seems to be a massive trend about this happening on social media, sharing people's posts, and I don't want to say doxing them, but showing who they are, who they work for, and then tagging that institution. And that video right there got 5.6 million views. And I mean, this is what happened when the coup was going on, right? How Democrats and left-leaning radical people were just ostracizing people that didn't want to wear masks, people that didn't want to get the jabs. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of going the other way now, which is... It is what it is. I mean, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Do you support this? Do you think it's crossing the line by showing up at someone's work and doing this? Or what do you think about people sharing this online? Is that the way to go? Let me know what you guys think down below. But it is working. I'll tell you that. So Libs of TikTok did share this here. Staffer for Congressman Benny Thompson had this to say: "I don't condone violence, but please get you some shooting lessons so you don't miss next time." And it turns out that this person has been fired. Hey, wow, it turns out that you can't actually support the attempted assassination of a fucking president and get away with it. So, wow, maybe that's a lesson to all the radicals out there going, yeah, I'm just going to say that they should have better luck next time. Yeah, no, Benny Thompson's statement: "I was made aware of a post made by a staff member and she's no longer in my employment." And like I said at the start of this video, this is the time where you're seeing more and more people get fired, which is extremely poetic because that was Trump's thing. You're fired, you're fired, you're fired. And it's it's like his angel is doing all the work for us, right? I mean, there's a lot of people doing a tremendous amount of work. Finding all these posts and sharing them on social media. Attention everyone near Oak Brook, Illinois. United American Marketing employs this man who thinks someone who would successfully assassinate the U.S. president he doesn't like would be a hero, and says he openly calls for the assassination on Secret Service. Moral of the story: you can't be an American hero if you have bad aim, and works for UAM Power. And so I'm sure that person will be facing immense repercussions soon. I laughed so hard when I heard the news. I really wish they had finished the job, done the world a huge favor. This they-them seems totally normal and stable. He also says he's not afraid of Secret Service or of dying and has no loyalty to America. I'm sure that won't have immense repercussions. Breaking: Rick Notarai was indefinitely suspended following the Libs of TikTok expose on his deranged comments regarding the attempted assassination from Lackawanna County. Inappropriate remarks led to suspension. Lackawanna County commissioners indefinitely suspended community relations manager Rick Notarai today for an inappropriate comment made on social media. Who would have thunk that? Next up, meet Stacey Patton, an associate professor at Morgan State University. She says she hoped the assassination attempt was successful and that justified because Republicans are racist. Friends, here is my latest piece of commentary on News One. Black people are not reveling in violence. We are wishing for the death of evil. We are no longer We are longing for the prevention of evil. For a moment on Saturday, we held our collective breath. We were suspended in uncertainty, caught between despair and hope, asking, what if? Yikes. I'm sure that won't come back to bite her in the ass. Oh, we have more, folks. We have more. Why do they always look like this? Vile people. This person said, praying that it gets infected. The bullet wound, of course. Then we have, here's a BLM chapter of Hartford, CT, Connecticut. Sorry about that. I'm not American. Mocking the attempted assassination and crying because the shooter missed. How much is a shooter's bond? Someone dropped the link. If the bond is too high, let's get them commissary ASAP, which is wild. Gene needs to resign or be expelled. This is a real post from Democrat House Representative in Texas. Gene Wu for Texas said, hard to serve a prison sentence if you are dead. Wow. I mean, it just goes on and on. Hi, Pinehurst Resort is just one of your employees. Damn, someone just barely missed. And this is the individual right there. And then you have Riley Gaines saying this. The PA fire chief who posted this after Trump was shot and another PA firefighter was killed has now resigned. Too bad it didn't hit him square, showing popcorn. Someone reported my post. That is wild. And then, ladies and gentlemen, you have Jack Black, who just ended his career. Calling for the assassination of President Trump at a concert is wild.
Don't miss Trump next time. Thank you.
Wow, that is absolutely wild. And when you go to Jack Black's Instagram and you take a look at his recent posts, you have, do you endorse the assassination attempt? Are you endorsing the murder of someone? Won't be watching any more of this guy's stuff, unfortunately. Imagine wishing someone dead. Careful what you wish for. It's not something to joke about. Did you say at a concert for them to miss Trump, for them not to miss Trump next time? You are part of the inhumanity that is poisoning the nation. And it just goes on and on and on and on. This is wild. You can endorse Joe Biden, I guess, if you really want to, without calling for the assassination of the political opponent, former President Donald Trump, and next President Donald Trump. That is insane. This is the difference between the left and the right, is the left is just so unhinged. They just say things as if there are no repercussions. They don't think, like, you can't call for the assassination of a president, prime minister, or leader of anybody and just think that it's a normal thing to say. Absolutely wild what's going on. And it turns out that Donald Trump actually did interview. He has been interviewed since the attempted assassination. Let's take a look at this here.
And former US President Donald Trump says it's a miracle he's alive as he recounted the harrowing moments he survived yesterday's assassination attempt. In an exclusive interview, the first one with the New York Post, former President Trump revealed he will completely rewrite the speech he'll deliver to the Republican National Convention Friday, that's Australian time, in the wake of the shooting. Trump says in the article, I had all prepared an extremely tough speech, really good, all about the corrupt, horrible administration, but I threw it away. I want to try to unite our country, but I don't know if that's possible. People are very divided. Trump goes on to detail the chaotic scenes in the aftermath as he was rushed to a Pennsylvania hospital for treatment on his ear. The interview quotes Trump saying, the doctor at the hospital said he never saw anything like this. He called it a miracle. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be dead. And finally, Trump goes on to praise the crowd at the rally, which he estimates was 55,000 strong, for remaining calm in the face of such a harrowing scene. Trump said, a lot of places, especially soccer games, you hear a single shot, everybody runs. Here there were many shots and they stayed. I love them. They are such great people. Former US President Trump as well arriving in Milwaukee since the shooting in Wisconsin for the beginning of the Republican National Convention. Our Washington correspondent Annalise Nielsen is there and filed this report.
We're here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where the Secret Service is locking down large parts of the downtown area and doing security sweeps to secure the area before the Republican National Convention formally begins. The RNC says it won't be changing any of the security after the attempted assassination of Donald Trump in Pennsylvania. They say the strict security procedures in place are sufficient to keep Donald Trump safe.
We are confident in these security plans that are in place for this event, and we're ready to go. It's been an 18-month process. We've worked together over that 18 months to develop operational security plans for any and all aspects of security related to this event.
Thousands of delegates from across the country are arriving in Milwaukee to take part in the Republican National Convention. Days with speeches will lay out the Republican Party's ambitions for a potential Trump administration.
And the craziest part is that later today, I might have a double upload today, because later this evening, Trump is scheduled to announce who his VP is going to be. Absolutely wild. I'd love to know down in the comments who you think it's going to be. There's a lot of suspicion that's going to be Vivek, but again, we're going to have to wait and see how that plays out. So that would be an awesome time. A reminder to subscribe to this channel, turn on the post notifications so you don't miss a single beat. And on your way out, I would like to encourage you guys, if you haven't yet already, to smash that like button, and I will see you later on today. Bye for now.